The data age is here, but surprisingly, most companies, they are still not ready for it. I had the pleasure to sit down in a virtual dinner conversation with Merritt. He's the CEO from Splunk. And we discussed about finance, about government, telecommunication, healthcare, and travel. And all industries are being impacted by digital disruption as they are thrust into the data age. And companies, they are navigating a new world and a future that's often uncertain and maybe even unknown. And they need to be prepared for the data age. So, are companies really ready for this data age? Or what challenges are they facing? And what are they experiencing? Let's turn to Doug and find it out.
So I think the biggest challenge that most companies have is they're still trying to wrap their heads around a more sparse data warehouse, transactional data analytics world that someone like a Snowflake plays into, or any of the classic data warehouses. And what we believe the data age is all about, and what we've been driving since we were founded, was that data is valuable. We're a Snowflake customer. Before that, we were a Redshift customer, and having a data warehouse is really important. Having visibility and analytics around the data that's coming from our Salesforce system, our Workday system, our NetSuite system, that's critical to running our business. But that's very different than the real-time streaming data and very well-mannered log data and API flow data that the world of IoT and the world of connected devices represents. That data, time is a very important criteria, and there's massive volumes of it. And it really is an opportunity for a lot more real-time sense and respond, or near real-time sense and respond, versus, again, in-memory data warehouse can give you much more, hey, I just downloaded my transactions, I'm getting a better feel for what's happened with my transactions, but that still is not the same insight as I understand the movement of all things around my business, and I'm interpreting based on signals these patterns that might be customers or suppliers or manufacturing parts, or that are on the stream, that represent the data that we think really gives companies a different degree of insight on everything that drives customer satisfaction and revenue and ultimately cost savings. And that is where people really, I think that 14% versus 86 is the 14% have digitized a much greater percentage of their landscape and are aware of the need to grab all the data coming from everything that's been digitized. And really probably have started, a lot of our customers that are using us wall to wall have started to figure out how to draw out correlations and patterns in that data, which is the vast minority of companies right now.
As more company processes become digitized, they are left with opportunities to grasp the value of data that's being generated. And this data is going to help to bring new value for organizations. But as more processes become digitized, there's an increased need for automation so that people can, working within the organization, have the freedom to work on more valuable tasks. And with so much data being generated by organizations, are they using automation as a key strategy for development? And if so, how does this augment people and organizational work experiences?
Well, people worry about offshoring as an issue. Ultimately, what we've seen through the centuries is it's much more about automation than offshoring. Offshoring is just the precursor to automation, whether it's way back in the 1800s with the Industrial Revolution, what we're seeing now. And automation of core processes, robotic process automation, RPA as an example. We're seeing it happening across all aspects of our company, and it's something that we're trying to drive. We want higher leverage through automation. We're still adding people every week, every month, and hopefully, as long as our customer base is growing and our revenue is growing, we're going to grow our employee population. But I really want our talent focused on the high value add items, which typically is not processing an order or ensuring that the automated details of an onboarding process actually occurred. And did you enter someone's credentials in Active Directory? Do they have a computer order? Do they? As always, that bottom layer I think was outsourced to less expensive locations. Now it's just being automated.
So automation has been an integral component of modern industries. And as companies learn to further automate, they open up new doors to better prepare themselves for the data age. But like many new technologies, such as automation, that are needed to embrace this new data age, there's a level of preparedness that's lacking, that organizations need to overcome. So it's up to the management to understand the importance and the value of technological adoption and guide an overall organizational understanding of these emerging technologies. As we have discussed, most companies are not ready for the data age, but they need to be in order to drive the new data revolution. And if they leverage the right digital technologies and business approaches that focus on real-time processes and automation, they can begin to set themselves up to successfully operate in this data age. And businesses are faced with a constant disruption. It's either one way or the other, whether it's COVID-19, whether it's technology or government or social factors. And the data age is helping these companies to be prepared for this world. Will you be a company to embrace the data age, or will you fall behind your successful counterparts? Thanks to Doug and Splunk for the opportunity to join this discussion. I'm Ronald van Loon, and this is The Intelligent World.